That are very things. Yes? We learn from our mistakes and failures. But yes, but by just folding our arms, can we learn from our mistakes? How do we do that? Yes? Okay, we check what led us to failing. That is the process that led us to the result that we have. Yes? Good. And that is what I tell you even when you write exams. The first thing is that as you have written the paper and it has gone out of your hand, you have no control over it. What you have, that is, the only way that you have control over it is what you have already written. That's all. Now, it means that you should not be so preoccupied about the results of that exam to the extent that even what is to come after is badly done. Because the only thing you can do is to find out what you didn't write properly and then correct for the future. Because at that moment you can't change again. But you look and know that, okay, this is what I was supposed to have done. And if I have another opportunity, then this is what I'm going to do. Who has something to add about what we were talking about last time again? Yes? That is the other day. I'm talking about the last conference. I always want us to go gradually because the last conference we were talking about the fact that if we choose to become something, we will become it. But we need to work. We choose it properly, we work for it, and there are different things we said that we are supposed to do in order that working for it becomes easier. What we are going to be talking about today then is difficulties, problems, are opportunities in disguise. Difficulties, problems, are opportunities in disguise. There are opportunities that can lead us first to improve on our intelligence, on our capacities, on our ingenuity, and also there are opportunities that can make us be more useful to ourselves, to the society. And the third thing is that there are opportunities for us to make money. Three things: difficulties or problems, opportunities in disguise. Opportunities in disguise because they help us to sharpen our intelligence, to sharpen our capacity to solve problems, to sharpen our capacity to being better than we were before, because the problems, the difficulties challenged us in one way or the other. So, we should not be afraid of problems, we should not be afraid of difficulties. They are only giving us an opportunity to become better persons. They are giving us an opportunity to become useful and maybe famous and popular. Does anybody know anything about Nelson Mandela? Yes. Who has something to say about Nelson Mandela? Yes? He was locked in prison for 27 years. Very good. Thank you. What else do you know about Nelson Mandela? Yes? Nelson Mandela was the first black president of South Africa. The first black president of South Africa. Thank you. Yes? Is it slave trade? It was a type of system that was like slave trade but was not called slave trade. Because naked is another thing, but it was linked to suffering and exclusion. Yes? Appetite. He fought against appetite. Now, what makes Nelson Mandela known? His capacity to face the difficulties and the problems of it, and the way he did and to it. He was not courageous enough. He didn't want to sacrifice himself to solve those problems, to look for solutions to the problem of appetite. Maybe we should say something about appetite before we continue. What is it? Yes? Yes, that we are making the black people to suffer. They were excluding them. They were having opportunities that black people did not have. For example, black people did not have the right to vote. They could not go to the same restaurants with the whites. They didn't even have the right to go to school. And even if they had to go to school, they went to less quality schools as compared to the schools where the blacks or the whites went. And many other such advantages were denied the people, the black people, because we were black, that's all. And that is what they call appetite. It's just like racial segregation in the US that Martin Luther King and many other activists fought against. It's a similar system. Now, I wanted to say that, again, difficulties, problems, are an opportunity for us to be a better version of ourselves. An opportunity for us to become useful to ourselves, become useful to society, to become even known and famous. People who are known, who are celebrated today, are celebrated because they were capable of seizing the opportunities that life gave them in the form of challenges, in the form of problems, in the form of difficulties. Those who shy away from difficulties will never be known. Those who shy away from the problems that they face, they are never going to be known. They are never going to make any substantial contribution to the human race, to their lives, but to the lives of their immediate societies. And therefore, dear friends, do not be afraid of problems, of challenges, of difficulties, because they will always come. They will always be there. Therefore, face them as they come. Think of how to make them an opportunity for you to become better, for you to think properly, for you to ask the questions that are going to lead you to having a proper solution to it. I said opportunity, that is difficulties, problems are opportunities in disguise. First, for us to think properly, to improve ourselves, to ask questions that we would not be able to ask if that problem was not there. To make ourselves better. To make ourselves useful, because when we will think, we will be able to propose solutions. These solutions that we will propose, they are going to make us more useful, and we will be proud of ourselves, because if we can propose a solution to a problem that has been challenging us and challenging other people, then we will be saying to ourselves, at least in this human society, I have some little contribution I have made. And that will be a pride for us, people with whom we live, for the human race in general. The third thing is difficulties, problems, challenges are opportunities of making money. I will explain this somehow through some different illustration examples that I'm going to be taking. One of the problems I have noticed in Bamenda that at the moment is still preoccupying me is the problem of waste disposal. When I say this, what do I mean? Does somebody have something to say about this? The problem of waste disposal in our town, in Bamenda, now, at this moment, is a problem that for me is preoccupying. I'm talking about in the town in general, but I'm talking about particularly the mentality that we have in general as far as waste disposal is concerned. Yes, Randolph, what do you have to say about waste disposal?
Waste disposal is when the people in Manila now they don't know how to use waste. Like just throwing it anyhow beside the roadside.
Good. So, as we can see, as he's saying, thank you, Randolph, it's very good. As he's saying, on our streets there are heaps of dirt. As you leave from in front of that entrance to the palace in Gwen to go to town, on your left there is a big heap of dirt, right? Who has passed there? Have you seen that heap of dirt? It's the same thing. Go and you are reaching that small street in my green. That small stream. You leave from the Boys Park there, that is where the agency is, and you are going down. In that street, that is at that level of the stream, there is dirt there. Those are the only places that are closer to us. But there are many other places in town where dirt is disposed like that. And we know that dirt, waste that is everywhere can bring us a lot of problems. First of all, the environment is very unhealthy because it smells, because there can be illnesses that are transmitted by the flies that go to those dumps, the place where the dirt is dumped, and that go and land on our food and everywhere, and we can receive illness. So, dirt, waste disposal, waste disposed the way it is done in Bamenda is a source of problems. It's a problem already. But, as I said, it's a problem, it's a difficulty, it's a challenge, but at the same time it can be an opportunity to someone. It can be an opportunity, or it is an opportunity that nobody wants to seize yet. It might be challenging to seize that opportunity, but it is an opportunity we can seize. I'm talking about at that level, but I am talking about here in school, because all the time I'm always reminding you of how we have to manage our waste, of how we have to be sensitive to the fact that dirt should not be everywhere. No, it should have its place where it should be. And if there is even a possibility of transforming, we are going to see what to do about that. We are having some reflections on how we are going to dispose our waste, and somehow how we can be able to recycle what we can recycle. The rest of the things we will still be thinking about what to do. But I will take this particular problem of waste disposal and show you how a problem is an opportunity, of becoming rich, of becoming known, of becoming better, of becoming more useful to us, particularly waste disposal. The first thing is that we are all disturbed and preoccupied by the way waste is disposed. But the person who will have the courage to look for a solution to that heap will become better, because he will have to think and work very hard in order to solve the problem, and he will make himself better. That person will be known just like Nelson Mandela and many others are known, because he brought a solution to a problem that was challenging many people. That person also has the possibility of making money out of that dirt, because in that dirt is part of it that is biodegradable, that is, that can rot. So that you can take and give it certain conditions so that it becomes manure that you can use to make your crop, to cultivate vegetables that you sell, to cultivate instead of buying what you don't even know where it's coming from. This, therefore, is a possibility of you getting rich or getting money from a problem and from an opportunity. And all the opportunities and problems are like that. All the problems, all the difficulties that we face, as I said, are opportunities for us to become better, more useful to ourselves, to become more popular and well-known, and also to get some money. So, in life, when you face problems, when you face challenges, think this way. How can this problem help me to become better, a better version of myself? How can this particular problem or particular challenge help me to become more useful to the world, to myself, but to the world, to every other person who is facing the same problem with me? How can this problem help me? What is the possibility I have of getting some money by proposing a solution to this particular problem that I'm facing? This is what I wanted us to share, so that we can see problems and challenges in a different way, as opportunities, but are not as things that we have to run away from. Is that clear? I don't know if there are any questions. Yes, Perry. I explained it, no? Did I not explain what appetite is? I think I explained it. Okay, can somebody help him? What is appetite? Yes? Speak aloud. In South Africa. Yeah, it was a system where white people, who were fewer, who were the minority, had all the wealth, had all the opportunities. Meanwhile, the blacks were some sort of excluded and without any opportunity. They didn't have the good schools that the whites had. They didn't have the right to vote. So the blacks, the whites were the ones to determine who is going to be the president or whoever to govern. And many of such opportunities. And this went on for many years till Nelson Mandela and his people, his friends, his other people who were feeling bad, that started trying to fight. And there were many problems that they faced, to the extent that he went to prison for 27 years. Finally, they negotiated and arranged, and the elections were organized, and he was elected the first black African, the first black president of South Africa. Because before him, we are only the white people who were presidents in South Africa. Yes? Any other question about what we have been talking about? Yes? A, B, A. No, it's two P's, I think. I don't know. I'll check. I don't remember. A, P, A, double P, A, R, T, A, I, D. Appetite. Any other question? Okay. Then, can somebody make a summary of what we have been talking about this morning? Can somebody summarize what we have been talking about since this morning? Yes.
Difficulties, challenges, and problems can help to improve your daily life.
Yes? Yes. Very good. Can someone say something again? Yes? Speak out loud, please. Thank you. Yes?
We're talking about how we can manage this.
Okay, we just took an example as that is showing that waste disposal is one of the problems that we face, and that could be an opportunity for us to improve. To improve ourselves, to become better, to become well known, as well to become more useful, and also to get some money for ourselves and to do whatever we want to do. Any other thing? Okay. We call for those who have participated, and we call on those who we are doing what we can do. Those who refuse to take what we want to keep them, they are free as well. But in the end, I tell you, you will regret. At that time, you will not have me. You will not have anyone who cares about sharing this type of ideas and opportunities with you. Thank you and have a nice day. You can continue with the next activity.